what Democrat ideology produces at the street level. You're not going to have to look any further than the viral video that we're about to discuss. And so let me go ahead and just pivot. I want to pivot to this because this is something that it should make every American furious. I don't care what your ethnicity is. This viral video coming out of Chicago is so violent. It is so disturbing. It is just completely heartbreaking that it almost didn't seem real. When my husband came home yesterday and showed it to me, I had to turn the phone over. I was like, I can't even watch this. A mother and her 9-year-old son are walking near a school and they are mobbed and dragged and stomped and beaten. Not by a group of burly men. No. They were beaten by elementary age kids. And y'all, when I tell you this makes me so mad, you heard me right. These were not teenagers. This was not some organized crime syndicate gang. These were children acting like fully trained grown man criminals. I'm sorry, a bunch of mini pavement apes. That's what they were. And you can get mad at me all day long. Do not email me talking about how disappointed you are and that I call these children little mini pavement apes. I don't even want to hear it. Why? Because we about to take a look.
So outraged in Chicago after video captures a mother and her 9-year-old son being harassed and then badly beaten by grade school children while walking near a school. We talked to two leaders of that Chicago community in just a moment, but first, let's go to Mike Tobin live there with the details. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. Parents and, frankly, people all over Chicago are now kind of horrified and outraged at this video that's not going viral. It has gone viral, of a mother and a 9-year-old son who were mobbed and beaten by a group of school-age bullies. Now, the video is a bit brutal, so be ready for that. But it shows this mother and the aggressiveness of the kids increasing as Korshwanda Hatter tries to protect her son. Finally, this mob of youngsters started to strike Korshwanda and her 9-year-old son. They were both knocked to the ground, and the beating continued.
Crack. Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my homie go. Let my
She says her son had been bullied at She says her son had been bullied at school for 2 years, and the school did nothing to protect him, so she showed up to walk her kids home. Now, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson did say, he put out a statement on X that he was deeply disturbed, and we should not attempt to normalize this type of senseless violence. Chicago police put out a statement saying both victims were transported to Trinity Hospital in serious condition. No one is in custody at this time. The Area 2 detectives are investigating. And Illinois State Senator Willie Preston said this video is a symptom of something that's been going on for a long time, that the kids have not been held accountable and the parents have not been held accountable for the actions of their children. Guys.
You know what? To be honest, I don't want to hear nothing from Brandon Johnson or not near one Democrat politician. I do not. And the reason why I do not is because Brandon Johnson is from the education sector. Okay? He's from education. This is the idiot, the mouth-breathing retard who supports restorative justice. And so what has happened here, the reason why I don't want you to email me talking about how disappointed you are that I call these children mini pavement apes, because what did that look like to you? What did we just watch? Right? What did that look like to you? Now, it's heavily censored, but I'll explain it to you. We watched a mother and her 9-year-old son, and what we're learning is there was a daughter present too, who were walking near a school when they were mobbed and beaten by a pack of elementary-aged children. not teens, not older thugs, elementary kids. These are kids younger than my youngest. My youngest are 13. These are kids who should be on the playground eating fruit snacks and playing hopscotch, not running some ground level assault mission. If you watch the unedited video, first of all, the language of these miscreants was atrocious. I have not heard children string together syllables and phrases of that level of profane language and just smart mouth. I was just like, who raised these kids? Where are they learning this type of vernacular? Now, I'm going to answer that for you. I'm going to answer that for you. But what we watch, the video shows the mother, she's trying desperately to protect her son. Baby, he's screaming. He's screaming, let my mama go. And these children, the mini pavement apes, these totally unparented, unsupervised, morality-free children, they're cursing, dragging, punching, and stomping the mama like they had nothing but rage in their bones. I just sat there and I was like, this got to be AI. I was like, this is AI. That darn sword. I was like, this is AI. And my husband was like, no, this is actually real. It was an actual real video. And here's the part that made my soul ache and my spirit burn. The mother has gone on record and said that her son, the reason why they were walking from school is because her son had been bullied for 2 years. 2 years. And the school did nothing. 2 years of pleading, 2 years of warning, 2 years of asking for protection, and 2 years of that school system shrugging like, well, I mean, what do you want us to do? Let me tell you something. There are some really harsh lessons to learn from this tragedy. And the first lesson is nobody's coming to save you. That is a reality that we need to grapple with. We have an entire generation of unprotected women and children, and y'all ain't gonna like this. And I'm not talking about this mom. Her circumstances are a little different in the fact that she has sickle cell, so she is physically infirmed. She is sick. So I'm speaking in the macro. But this tragedy made me realize that we've got a lot of unprotected women and children, and most of it is due to our bad choices made by us, the women. You need to sit with that, because I can't tell you how many times, not this woman, so don't email me because you are hard of hearing and you can't think in proper categories. I'm not talking about her. Speaking in the macro, how many times I hear women refuse to take accountability for laying down with some random and then being shocked when he doesn't stay around, how you want to cry the victim and complain how you doing it all by yourself, mad because he doesn't marry you. As it turns out, he was a whole piece of trash and he showed you who he was from the beginning. But instead of you accepting accountability for that, you make all kinds of excuses. I was young, I was dumb, I was having fun. You know how it is. It just happened. Yeah, well, now we've learned in the 9th hour. Now I'm back to this story. I've got a lot of thoughts about this, but I learned in the 9th hour that the father of this woman's children, he's around. He's around. And what makes it so messed up, I have some scathing questions for the father of these children, but I want you to take a look. I got this other clip. I'm going to come back to this video because there's so much more I need to show you. But I want you to take a look at this clip to give you guys a little bit more context as to what's going on here and why I think, why some of the issues that I'm going to raise, I have to lay at the feet of this daddy. I do.
Now to a CBS exclusive. The mother in this video, who was attacked while protecting her children, is speaking publicly. She and her son were brutally attacked by a group of kids on Monday, and this video has caught the attention of many across the country. Now, that community is stepping in to help move her out of the South Deering neighborhood. She only spoke to our Sharday Gray about this horrific attack, and Sharday is live in our newsroom with more from this exclusive story.
Well, Marie, Korshonda Hatter says she's still in physical pain after she and her son were brutally attacked with her young daughter just steps away. Her legs are bruised and it's hard for her to walk. But what hurts her the most is her children are still suffering.
My son is, he's very devastated. He'll wake up out of him in the middle of his sleep, screaming. He'll scream, "Mommy, are you there?"
Hatter says her 9-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter are traumatized after watching their mom get attacked by a group of kids. In this video, we've blurred the faces of those involved because they're all minors. We've stopped it after she was dragged to the ground because of how brutal it is. Her son was beaten, and she says one of the kids pulled her daughter's hair. Her daughter stood off to the side crying, watching her brother and mother get attacked.
I felt helpless because I was down on the ground and he was down on the ground and he's looking at me screaming like, "Mommy, please help me, help me." I couldn't get up myself.
I'm sorry. God bless this woman. I'm confused why this woman is sitting there articulating that this was hard for me because I felt helpless and there was nothing I could do. And this Negro sitting there just listening to her, there's no way, there is no way that something like this could have happened to me. And not just my husband, but the men in my life who love me could sit there and just watch me recount what happened. And I'd just be sitting there like, he just sitting there like, his soul should be crushed and he should be embarrassed to hear his woman. I don't know if it's his woman or he's like, "Listen, I'm just the baby daddy," because they're not married. The news reporter describes them, you'll hear, as the partner. He's the child, both kids' father, but he's the partner. And he's just sitting there. What kind of man can sit and listen? Like, I'm trying to figure out why you ain't on the prowl trying to you should be doing something. You should be doing something. I'm going to let her finish and I'm going to let him speak and then I'm going to come back. I need to calm down. I'm getting mad about this all over again. I'm sorry.
So I guess they seen a little weakness on her because she's, kind of walking a little slow. And
no, we see the weakness in you, sir. She has a physical ailment. What is your excuse? She has sickle cell. Did y'all hear that? Let me just, Y'all got to calm down for
Nothing.
she's sick. She has sickle cell. So I guess they seen a little weakness on her because she's, kind of walking a little slow. And they have no right to put their hands on an adult.
That's her partner, Devon Lee.
That's her partner. That's the partner.
At work when the attack happened. Hatter went on to tell me that her son has been bullied for the past 2 years at Orville T. Bright Elementary School because of the way she walks and talks. All of the results of her sickle cell disease. Hatter tried to talk to the school about the bullying, but she says they didn't do anything about it.
Okay, so the news reporter says he was at work when the attack happened and that the son has been bullied for 2 years on the account of his mother because she has an illness. So based on the way that she walks and the way that she talks, the son has been the recipient of the attacks for 2 years. And I'm trying to figure out, this woman has had sickle cell, which is very serious. And more often than not, you are having more bad days than you are having good days. Okay. Stress. I have a friend whose mother had sickle cell. Stress is a major trigger for sickle cell patients. This mama had no business going up to that school alone by herself. First of all, 2 years. And I'm trying to understand why the father should have taken off of work to handle this. I'm sorry. That is just how I feel. Why is it 2 years? And we know why she's being bullied. And the man has not listen. This is why my kids couldn't go to public school. Because if your kid is one of these miscreants, these little baby pavement apes, you and them may not be here to tell the story. I'm just saying. I am that mama. I am that mama. The village cannot raise your kids, and the village will not protect you or your kids. So the truth bomb that I know is going to hurt, and now I'm speaking broadly, why is it that we don't talk about how in the Black community, we've been conditioned to believe that we share custody of our children with the daggone government? Like, we really expect the government, the state. Think about all the things that we expect the government to do. Cover childcare, direct and guide the educational outcomes of the children, direct and provide for their safety, provide mentorship, feed the kids, clothe the kids, play with the kids. The state does everything that a father is supposed to do. The state is so involved with every aspect of our lives that essentially the parents raise or get custody of their children on the weekends. But the state, they run in the household Monday through Friday. Think about it. State is providing you breakfast, these kids the breakfast, the lunch, the afternoon snack, the tutoring. The state's doing everything except maybe a nighttime bath and a bedtime story. Where's the lie? Y'all, the state was not designed for this. This is not government's job. And now we see that, yes, the state is a failure because this is not the role of government. And when the government fails, which it always does, the family pays the price. And let me say this part. Everybody is scared to say it. Bless this mother's heart. I don't want to personally dump on her because she fought. She cried. She's begging for help. She showed up. She protected her baby with her own body. And I'm calling the 9-year-old a baby because these are babies. But my question is, why is it after 2 years? Where was the father who should have been covering his home, protecting his son, protecting the baby mama, and stepping foot into that school the first time this happened? Like, y'all, I'm going to have to repent later. He should have walked up in that school as, where's the little bastard that keeps bullying you, son? Point him out to me today, because it's going to end the day. It should have ended the day it started. Do you hear me? There is no way children who know that other children have a daddy who's going to come up there and unleash a can of all of it on everybody don't do stuff like this. They don't. I can guarantee you, this is fictional, but when nobody messing around with JJ and James Evans, wasn't nobody bothering James Evans' kids in the projects. And if they did, that was the last time that they was gonna mess with James Evans' children. It was understood on sight. That man will kill you and tell God that you died. That's just what men did, even in the hood. even in the hood. Now I gotta go back. I gotta go back to this video.
It's just something that shouldn't be going on.
Osama is now coming forward to help. Korshanda says her son has been bullied at Bright and claims the administration isn't doing enough to protect him. We have Chicago Public Schools' response, but first, a local rapper, Lil Zay Osama, is now coming forward to help. He says he wants to fly the mom and son to LA for dinner and Christmas shopping and has a message for other children listening.
It's just something that shouldn't be going on. Kids should be able to go to school and be comfortable walking home from school and at school learning, you know what I'm saying? Like, kids at that age should not be doing things like that, especially to an adult and to their peers that go to school with them. That's crazy. That shouldn't be happening in our community. We got to do better.
I just have a question. I do. Yes, I'm judging. I am. The question I have is, why is a rapper out here advocating for this woman? I'm sorry, her partner is just sorry to me. The little buddy that was sitting next to her in the press conference, I'm sorry. That is a problem. And I appreciate the rapper stepping up, but we don't need more rappers flying people out to LA. Okay, we don't need photo ops. We don't need a celebrity charity tour. I'm sure he meant well, but no. Why? The rap culture, that is what's given this whole, we don't need rap culture and rappers to give this mom an opportunity to get flued out and volunteer free dinners. Why? Because that is the same culture that is polluting the moral ecosystem that these kids are already suffocating in. That doesn't make sense to me. We don't need entertainers. That's part of the problem. We need fathers. And like I said, we see Lil Buddy, the father, at the press conference, but where was he? Where you been for the past 2 years, sir? Where you been? Let me say it very plainly. There is zero excuse for this to have happened to this mama and these kids when there's a whole father around. I mean, is he in the home? What is going on there? I don't know. I'm sorry. It is obvious they're not married. And based on his body language, his whole disposition of just sitting there confused and slow, he doesn't strike me as a dad that's rooted and present and involved and definitely not protective. Because if he was, those bullies would have never had a 2-year runaway, just tormenting this little boy for 2 years. That wouldn't have happened on day 1, on day 2. No, a real father would have showed up with some authority. Not authority from the state, but authority from God, because that's your child. And yet, instead of him stepping up, instead of him being a covering for his family, guess who showed up? A rapper. A whole rapper put out a statement and everything, flying the mama out. How are you flying the mama out to LA offering dinners and gifts? Is the daddy going to? They all gonna get flued out? And yes, I'm using flued out because it's a colloquialism. Yeah, I'm just being ignorant right now. I'm just so upset. How on earth does this work? Somebody explain it to me. Is the rapper gonna fly the mama and the daddy out? Taking photo ops like this is charity season? Listen, let me tell you something. The same rap culture that glorifies violence and disrespect, fatherlessness, and chaos now wants to play Captain Save a Family. That is the madness that we are living in. That is the same cultural rot that helped create these feral, unsupervised, disrespectful adult kids in the first place. This is where it starts. What happened to this mother and her son should not require a celebrity intervention. It should not. It should have required the father long before the cameras came out. Because let me tell you what a father does, okay? A father puts his presence, okay, between the danger and his child. That's his first job. A father steps into the school with the authority that God has endowed him with, and I mean, he could demand protection. He could demand it, but no, he just asserts it. He gets it. He doesn't ask permission. He asserts. Fathers refuse to let their sons or their daughters to be anybody's punching bag. Where were you, sir? 2 years? And the day, I know I'm being harsh, and you're like, well, he had to work that day. Where you been for 2 years? 2 years? The boy's been bullied because his mama is sick and infirm, and she walks probably with a limp, and obviously her speech is impaired. Where you been? Your job is to build confidence, not trauma. You guys, I wanted to cover this because this whole story was so shameful, and it was so infuriating that I think my blood pressure was up when I first watched it. It made me very angry. It made me realize that the culture, we're at the bottom and we don't really realize how bad it is because the adults don't even realize how bad it is.